ഞങ്ങളുടെ കടലിരിക്കുന്ന തിമിംഗലമെല്ലാം ചാർഷിസ് കടലിൽ നിന്നും ചെങ് കടലിൽ നിന്നും കരിൻ കടലിൽ നിന്നും കിട്ടിയതാണ്. നിന്റെ സാരി വളരെ വെളുത്തതും നിന്റെ വിളക്കിലാണ് നിറഞ്ഞു തുളുമ്പിയതുമായിരിക്കും.
Welcome back, everyone. And our final guest from tonight is a man who wrote the last book of the Bible, Revelation, who talked about the end of the world. So everyone, please welcome John.
What a day. Ooh, here we go.
Hello, John. Nice shoes you got there.
Oh, thank you. I picked these up from JCPenney. It's really very nice. So how they got a nice band here.
I know, they're the best.
I don't know, whoever came up with that idea is a genius, I gotta say.
I know, they got matching hats and everything.
Nice hats.
So John,
Yes.
your book Revelation.
Oh, yes.
Well, there's a lot that's in it, so we're just going to pick out a few topics.
Go for it.
Let's start off with the churches. Which is your favorite church?
That's a tough one. How many churches are there? The first churches? Okay, you guys can yell it out. 7, there we go. So here, my favorite. Well, I will go with the first church, Ephesus. And the reason being is because they knew a lot about the Word of God. They knew everything they needed to do. They knew what they were talking about. It's just, there was just one problem with them. The one problem was they lost their first love. You see, the first love is Jesus Christ. And when everybody, when you're in a relationship and you're in a church, and the first thing has to be Jesus Christ. Throughout life, throughout everything you do, Jesus Christ. And what happened to them is they lost that focus on Jesus, and they went to other things. They just focused on what they were saying in the Word of God. So I love that church. It's just things they need to do is just get their focus back on Jesus.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Thank you.
What church do you think would be your? Were all the churches bad? Like, did they all have bad things to say about them?
They're not all the churches. There were some of them had good stuff about them that they did everything right, like Smyrna. They did pretty well for themselves. They followed God. They kept their first love. They followed Jesus. That's what they did.
Yeah. I saw another bulk of the stuff in your book was about the end times. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
The end times. It is very interesting and very disastrous time, actually. What's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of like natural disasters. There's going to be hurricanes. There's going to be floods. There's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be all these things happening.
Wait, earthquakes and hurricanes? That's happening now.
Well, then you guys got to realize he's coming soon. You gotta get ready here. You see, when you see Israel having problems, the wars with Israel, what's going on in the Middle East, and what's going on in everything in this world, you gotta realize that it's not gonna be that long. It's not. It could happen now. It could happen tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed in this world. And what you have to realize is that God is coming soon, and the second coming of Jesus Christ is gonna happen. And you have to wonder: are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be with Jesus? Or are you gonna be down here?
It's kind of scary, like that movie Left Behind.
Yeah. Some of it's inaccurate, but we'll get that a little later.
Alright, let's get back to the churches, because that seemed like a little happier topic. What church do you think would represent our church, like the present day church?
Present day church. Probably Laodicea.
Laodicea, which one is that one?
I think it's the last church, I believe.
Last.
But what you need to understand is that with the church in the present day, with the church right now, is you can't be lukewarm. Do you know what lukewarm means? Not hot, not cold, but in the middle. See, the churches today are in the middle. They're not hateful of God. They're not rebellious of God, but they don't have a passion or fire for God either. See, what the churches today need to do is have that fire for God. So you're not supposed to be cold. You're not supposed to be lukewarm. You should have that fire for God. You should have that passion to worship and to praise and to speak His word and to spread His word. That's what you have to do, and that's what the church has to do. There's a lot of churches in this world. Some of them have a fire for God. Some of them don't. Some of them are rebellious and they don't follow the word of God at all. Some of them do. But what people have to realize is their church lukewarm, cold, or do they have a fire for God? And what we need to understand is Jesus is at the door. God sent His only Son. His only Son. If you have children and you only have one child, that means if you send your only son to be sacrificed, you got none left. And so if you send that only one and then you have no backup, what are you going to do? See, that's what God did. If you asked us today, we wouldn't send our child into a dangerous situation. God sent His Son for us to help us, not to show off. He sent it to save us. He sent Him to keep us, to help us go to heaven. And so what you need to understand is the only way to come to God and to go with God through the second coming is, it's said in Romans chapter 10 verse 9. It's not my book, even though
the other one.
it's not. And it's a great book, but Revelation, I gotta say, pretty good book. And if you guys read John, my other book, huh? Anybody? John, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I have 4 of those. Come on, guys. Okay, because not a lot of people read these. So, what you gotta understand is you have to confess with your mouth and do the deeds, and that Jesus Christ is Lord. Because when He comes, He's gonna come. There's gonna be a rapture, which is a secret coming, and there's gonna be a public coming after the 7 years of the Antichrist, which is gonna be terrible years. He's gonna rule, and it's gonna be terrible. And there's gonna be second coming, and He's gonna be public. And then when that happens, every knee is gonna bow. Every knee is gonna confess that Jesus is Lord. But you have to realize, you have to confess and believe and follow and live a holy life before that happens.
Is that the time of the feast?
Huh?
Is that the time of the feast?
Oh, the feast, yeah. 1,000-year reign is when Jesus comes, there's gonna be a 1,000-year reign. There's gonna be a big banquet for all of us, buffet, or I don't know what you guys like. There's gonna be everything. See, God created the world. He also created all the cuisines too, so there's gonna be all there too. Thank you. So, yeah, you guys gotta be ready if you want to. If you want to be with Him and be at that banquet, which is going to be very good, by the way, you have to confess, live a holy life, and live with God throughout your life.
Well, thank you for those words. I think we all probably could take stuff from that and change our lives a bit. So that's all the time we have for you today. But
it's great to be here.
Yeah, I hope you guys can come back.
Proud, great job, guys.
And up next is a special musical performance by God's Kids. So we'll take a short little break, and then when we come back, God's Kids will perform.
This next band, Destination Bible.